When I got here, I could not believe my eyes as to what I was seeing. Like, I could not believe that there was a real place like this and that people just didn't do anything about it. I couldn't believe how lonely and broken and hurt these people were, and I couldn't believe the things that I was seeing. People shooting up heroin, smoking crack, prostitution. This no rules go environment. I just remember just sitting in the car on the way home and thinking to myself, can you really go to bed at night knowing that there's a place like this close to where you live, with so many Christian people trying to move in the city? Can you really just sit and not do anything? My name is Ryan Tobar. I'm 24 years old and I live in Oakdale, California. And I got into mixed martial arts when I was 18 years old. Combat had always been something that it just got my attention, and every time that I would see fights, I was just I remember being mesmerized. Since I was 20 years old, I've been pursuing this dream of fighting. I'd been dating a girl who I'd been in a relationship with for 4 years. Those were the things that I found my significance in, was that relationship and my fighting. And it was a selfish dream at that time. And I'd been trying to go pro for almost a year. No one would give me these fights. Nobody really believed in me. I was starting to give up on going pro. My girlfriend dumped me, and all the things that I had my significance in were gone now. So basically I was just I just got to get out of here. I asked my cousins if I could ride back to California with them, who were out to see my grandfather, and they happened to have one extra seat. I took the opportunity and I just took a little suitcase and $300. A few days after I arrived out here, someone asked me to take a professional fight. I had to find a mixed martial arts gym to train at.
I saw a very humble kid in Ryan, and I felt that he would be a great asset to the team. When he first came out here, he seemed a little bit lost as far as his direction, but since he's been here, he's really buckled down. Ryan's a very humble guy. I think he's going to go far in MMA.
Stayed in a loft above the gym for a while so I could, wake up, train. That's all I did. I just eat, train, sleep. And during that time, I just prayed a lot, because it was the only thing that I really knew to do, and I could really kind of feel God pulling me in different directions. And I didn't like it at first because it was uncomfortable. I started feeling convicted about a lot of different things in my life that I had been doing. I noticed right away that God was giving me all these spiritual people as leaders and people to help guide me out here. And that was the first thing that I really noticed, where I was like, okay, God's trying to get involved in my life. So about a month after I arrived out here, I met Michael McDonald, and I actually just overheard him talking about a church program that he attends.
I told him about the church that I go to, and he started going to church with me. He started going to church with his friend, and from him going to church with me, he just became one of my best friends, and he's one of my favorite training partners, one of my favorite people to hang out with.
It was a very genuine thing, and we just became friends, and spiritually we connected.
I really believe that God calls us all to be spearheads, and not just to be in a church and have people come to the church, but also to bring the church to the people. And I believe that is the number one thing that's going right for Ryan. He's in the right place at the right time with the right people, and I know that God has ordained him to do what he's doing.
In passing one day, I mentioned to this client of mine, hey, I would love to do mission work sometime, and he's like, oh, I got this buddy. You're gonna have to come meet him, you're gonna have to come check this place out. He took me to the mission, and I knew instantly, God had called me to this place. And doing what I'm doing, whether it's mixed martial arts or coming to the mission, I definitely feel like I am right where I need to be. Well, I'm building a platform. Every time I fight, every time I win, I'm building more of a platform for the stage that I want to set to do the work that I want to do, which ultimately is reach out, pour love into the community, let people know about God, let people know about Jesus. You know, I get a lot of questions a lot of times from people like, you know, oh, why do you drive all the way to San Francisco? You know, what do you get out of it? You know, what's in it for you? I try to make it as often as I can. Sometimes it's only once a week, sometimes it's 3 times a week, but as soon as I get down here, I just go and I start plugging away at what the day brings. Anything from tutoring kids, you know, in their schooling, to preaching, to praying with people on the streets, praying with people in homes, hospitals, going in building to building, knocking on doors, passing out food, taking care of people's immediate needs, you know, whether it be, you know, clothing, food, medicine, whatever it'll be, and intervening in their life.